I wouldn't do that with the old wipes that I had. A little hot water, hot boiling water. It wouldn't be hot, I just, after it cooled off.
Oh, hi everybody. We are now live and we are waiting for some of our friends to come in and join us here for our Happy Hormones class. They should be coming in the door any minute. We have a few friends here already. But we are, just stay tuned because we're going to give just a couple of minutes for the rest of our friends to join us, and then we will get right into the heart of happy hormones. So just be ready to go here in the next couple of minutes with us. I see somebody coming to the door. Watch for people.
Are we off the air now?
No, we're live.
Oh, we're live.
We're
Okay.
live right now. Gail Ham, J&A Coleman, a couple of other folks I'm expecting this morning. So
You don't tell them what? I'm telling you?
No. They're dealing with hormones, but he probably needs to go ahead and know about women's hormones. So they can help him out.
Sharon is coming and she's supposed to be bringing her 3 people that she brings usually. So, but Sharon did text and say she was running late.
Okay.
So.
I like to know how her kitchen kit worked out. I realized I had put it by later. I didn't buy it. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, what the heck? But I realized what I had done, I had taken it off so I could put my Ninja kit in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have to be very careful with my Ninja right now. I just stepped down one bottle. Plus my 30 day supply, which is now only like 15 days. And yesterday I took a nitro. Good work. Like I'm taking it, I never did.
That's like me. It doesn't last me 30 days. It lasts me 15 days.
See, that's why I order it in that bulk. If I can get it,
The packages.
get 2, and then I'll have them. And that's what
Yeah,
I do
but then I
with my
get
giveaway.
3 out because I want more later.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed sharing it too, and that I'm glad I did share it those times because I mean,
Yeah.
if other people, and that's what they want, and if they're smart about it, when they start building up their points, that's where they'll use their Ninja.
Right.
That was what I planned to do later on.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm already budgeted for next month for the Ninja. 2 bundles. It's worth it.
It is.
It is.
The ninjas.
That's good. If it
Oh, last night I was thinking when I was making the chicken salad, I was thinking, I just had cranberries. Oh, but we had wolfberries.
Oh, yeah, well,
So, yeah, try it with wolfberries and pecans. 'Cause I do have pecans.
Have you tried the wolfberries yet?
No, that's what I did.
No. We have 5.
Oh, okay. All right.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're live. We're live right now. We're
No more talking about people, Elizabeth.
We're
Thanks
yeah.
for saying my name.
So we have 5.
I want to make people people knew the sound of your voice.
So yeah, he said saying we have people on 5 people live with us right
Oh,
now.
good. Okay.
So I think
Yeah, let's go ahead and get
we're
started.
gonna go ahead and get started. And as you know, we have some latecomers coming in. You guys just help watch the door, and
Okay.
we probably need to watch out those doors because some of the folks may not know where we are exactly. That would be really good. Okay, so first thing that we're gonna do is I want everybody just to tell us your name and then let us know what you are excited about learning today in our hormones class. And so I'm going to go first. My name is Amy, and I am excited today to learn about, the different essential oils and supplements that I can use to help me get my hormones in balance. All right?
That's good. Yeah, well. I
Tell
got
us your
nothing.
name.
Oh, my name is Lulu,
Okay.
and I'm here, and I'm here by the essential oils, and I'm very happy with it.
Okay.
Yeah, to drink it and to put it on,
Okay.
and the pain part of my body,
Okay.
and I'm very happy with it.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So you're loving your products that you already have and here to learn some more.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
My name is Judy, and what I'm most interested in is anything that has to do with menopause.
Okay. Great. All right.
My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here because I am interested in helping others with their hormone issues and also supplement my hormone issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think most of the people in the room at the moment we're either at that menopause or beyond. But there are definitely things for all ages and stages, and I'll address that some as we're going. So let me just kind of first give you a little bit about my story and what got me going with essential oils. It's been about 3.5 years ago that I started in with essential oils. I actually knew of them because my husband Joe had some that he had had for probably 10 years before he even knew me. And I saw his oils when we were dating. I guess that would be about 12 years ago. And I was like, those are really expensive and that's not for me. Until I had a real need for them. I had a low blood platelet issue and I was able to get my platelet levels back to normal with essential oils and with some supplements and just some other lifestyle changes. And so that like really set me on the trajectory where I was like, yeah, this is for me now. And so recently, I decided to go to my doctor and have a whole hormone panel done. I'm 50 years old and I have osteoporosis in my family. Both of my grandmothers were humped over. My mother has been on multiple medications for osteoporosis. And then I personally was also having some high blood pressure issues about a year ago. And just in the reading and the research that I've done, I know that if you can keep your hormones in balance, oftentimes you can get those things under control. There are many other issues that women kind of in my age group have, or all age groups have, that are related to hormones, such as weight gain and sleep issues. And I mean, the list is just digestive. The list goes on and on and on of all these different things that if you get your hormones in balance, it can actually have a huge impact on these other things. All right. I have all my notes on my computer and it just decided to do an update. So I'm going to pull my notes up on my phone now. Technology, you gotta love it. But that's okay. We'll just get it up here. All right. So first thing is, I have a worksheet that I'm going to give to you guys, everybody. And if you are joining us online and virtually, I believe that worksheet I either sent to you. I think it's also it's
in the chat.
It's in the chat for you as well. And this worksheet is really an outline kind of what I'm going to go through today. You can take notes on it. And guys, there are pens right here. You can grab a book if you would like to help have something to bear down on. And if you are live with us today, grab that worksheet. You can print it, or if you want to just get a piece of paper and take notes. I just thought this would be super helpful for you. Not only is it kind of an outline of what we're going to talk about, but also the last page or two of the worksheet, there are some recipes that are specific to helping with different hormone things as well. And so I want to make it easy for you and give you a place to kind of go back and to take notes. And then, if you want to share this with someone else, that is certainly available too. Our recording today is a live recording, but also it's something that you can share with other people because it is YouTube. And so it's going to be there for you. All right, so first of all, hormone balance is imbalance is everywhere, and in women of all ages. Even women who are really young are experiencing a lot of hormone imbalance, and we kind of in our society have accepted that painful periods, PMS, these things are normal. And guys, I'm going to tell you, it's not. Those are signs that something with your hormones is not in balance. And it is not something that we have to live with. Things like low libido, feeling moody all the time, issues with fertility, PCOS, the inability to get a good night's sleep, headaches, all of these things can oftentimes be linked back to hormones. And so kind of one of my questions, one of my thoughts is what in our world is causing this imbalance? And the truth of it is that I think in this time, in this day and age, we have more toxic exposure than even when I was a teenager. And some of those things are just stressors. Our modern day life is full of stressors. We have toxins in the air. We have toxins in our clothing and in our cosmetics, in our cleaning supplies, under our sinks, pesticides that are on our fruits and vegetables, chemicals that are in the plastic water bottles, Roundup that is sprayed, even just on your neighbor's lawn. All of these things are causing our hormones to be disrupted. And so the question is, how do we find that balance again? So first of all, if you are suspecting that you have a lot of imbalance, I would encourage you to go and get a hormone panel done. Because for me, that was really helpful. I didn't really think I had all that many things out of balance because I wasn't having, the weight issues. I wasn't having the sleep issues and a lot of things that people have. I was having headaches pretty regularly, and so I did have some things. But some women don't have a lot of symptoms that say, hey, your hormones are out of balance. So I would really encourage you to go to your doctor and to get tested and to really get a real picture of where things are for you. And so today I'm going to talk about lifestyle changes. I'm going to talk about supplements, and I'm going to talk about some essential oils that can help. So let's start with those lifestyle things. So first of all, reducing toxins. Okay, and so your household products. So if you go and look on the labels on your household products, if you see fragrance in the label, if you see SLS or sodium lauryl sulfate, if you see parabens, if you see phthalates, and that's spelled with a PH, I had to look up how do you say that word. All of these things are chemicals that are very disruptive to our hormones and can cause, basically, these chemicals get into our bodies just by breathing them. When they get into our bodies think that these are estrogens. And so what it can create is estrogen dominance in our bodies and get our estrogens completely out of balance. So some other places that we oftentimes see toxins just in our home is with our body care products. Again, if it says fragrance on it, it's probably going to have things in it that are not very healthy for you and are not very good for you. I used to absolutely love Bath and Body Works products. I used the body wash, I used the lotions. And so over the course of a couple of years, I slowly replaced those products with products that I get from Young Living. Lotions, body wash, shampoo, because yes, these things have a wonderful smell, but the smells are made with essential oils, and essential oils are plants. That is what they're made from, and so they don't have the toxins in them. They go into our bodies, and our bodies know how to use plants and recognize them not as a toxic substance, but as something that they can use, and so they are not harmful at all. Okay, our food, guys. As much as you can, you want to be getting organic produce, especially because the pesticides that are sprayed on the plants, the fertilizers that are used on the plants that we ingest and we take in, we are putting those toxins into our body when we eat them. And so that's a big deal. So you may have heard of a list called the Clean 15. The Clean 15, so every year there's a group that goes in and tests produce, and they find the produce that is the cleanest. And so I'm not talking about organic here, I'm just talking about in general, if you're just getting the regular produce off the shelf. And so there's a list called the Clean 15. These are the plant products that have the least amount of pesticides in them. And so if you're like, I can't buy everything organic, go look at that list, and those are the things that have less pesticides, less toxins in them. There's also a list called the Dirty Dozen. And the Dirty Dozen are going to be, if you can only buy so much organic, look at the Dirty Dozen, and the things that are on that Dirty Dozen list, they have the highest amount of pesticides and toxins in them. And so the things on that list you want to get organic. And I'll tell you, one of the ones that is almost always on the Dirty Dozen list is strawberries. And so just go Google that. You will find those lists easily. The Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Okay, water, guys. Water, you need to go and look up the water that is coming through, your faucet. And consider getting a filter. I told Joe for Christmas I want a Berkey filter. And so basically we pour our water that comes from our faucet into this filter, and it is like kind of the gold standard as far as filters go. It filters so many of the toxic things out of your water. And there's also places you can go online and you can put in your zip code, and it will tell you what the different levels of toxins are in. If you go look up Berkey.com, and I know they have a place that you can go and put in your zip code, and Berkey will tell you about what is in the water in the area where you live. Berkey, Berkey. So just go Google Berkey, and they have a place on their website where you can look up the water that you're drinking. Okay, so that's toxins. All right, number 2 is reducing stress. Okay, is there anybody out there who is not having stress in their life? No, there's just not. We all have it. From not only the toxins that are in our environment, guys, that causes stress on our body. And so if you can reduce that toxic load in some way, then you're going to reduce stress on your body. Some stress is good, right? And it spurs us on to do the things that we need to do. But generally speaking, all of us have too much stress. And so I'm going to talk about some simple lifestyle things that you can do. And you're not going to probably do them all. And so pick and choose what you will do. I mean, I don't do all of these things. I'm going to be honest with you. And I should do more of them, but I do some of them. So number 1, meditation. This is something that I need to do, and I know I need to do it, but I just have a hard time stopping. Is there anybody else out there who just you have a hard time just making yourself stop and take a break? Yeah, I don't do it enough. But meditation and deep breathing. And so you can look up there are apps out there that can help with this. You can Google deep breathing for stress relief. And you'll find all kinds of things out there that are really helpful. Sleep. Okay, if we're getting enough sleep, that is going to help bring our stress level down. And so generally speaking, adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And if you are getting that, it will help bring your stress down. It just does. I'll talk more about sleep in a minute. Exercise. Moving your body. All right. We all got moving parts, right? If you got moving parts, you need to move your parts. And so it doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe it's, whatever level you're at. Maybe you can just walk. Walking is going to be helpful. Maybe it's you're somebody who you're gonna do weightlifting. Maybe you're gonna do some cardio. Best case scenario, you're gonna do 2/3 of your exercise should be weightlifting and 1/3 should be cardio. That's best case. And so if you're gonna exercise 30 minutes, do 10 minutes of cardio and 20 minutes of weightlifting. Okay? So exercise, we know there's research out there that says it helps to bring our stress levels down. Yoga. Okay, that kind of in a way is grouped in with exercise, but for me, I kind of consider it a little bit of a different animal. And so you don't have to go pay huge amounts of money to exercise and to do yoga. When I do yoga, I usually do yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. And she's great. And there's all kinds of videos that she has out there that are free. And I love her. She's awesome. So go up and look up Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube and you will find lots of great yoga there. Yes, there are places you can go and do it with other people, and that can be lots of fun too. All right. Reading for pleasure. I love to read. That's one of my favorite things that I do for stress relief is reading. And so if you like to read, maybe that's going to be something good for you. And going out with your friends. I think a lot of us are just, we don't have enough connection with people, and connecting with people and just stopping and having fun and doing something simple and just being with people and enjoying that can be such a stress relief, right? And just anything that you enjoy. What are your hobbies? Pursue those hobbies and give yourself a break and a time to do something that you just love doing. And that can be a great thing to relieve stress. All right, so the next thing for a lifestyle is sleep. So this one's in a category all by itself because this is something that a lot of us struggle with, right? Again, I already said we need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night if we're an adult. And so I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to help with that. Okay, one thing is if you will turn your lights out by before or by 10 p.m., that can help with your melatonin levels. Because what happens when the lights go out, that's a signal to our brain to turn on the melatonin. And melatonin, we all have that naturally, but a lot of us, our melatonin levels are not where they should be because we are exposed to light all the time. And so just turning out the lights will signal your body, hey, it's time for some melatonin, and melatonin can help you with sleep. Reducing your exposure to blue light. So what is blue light? Your phone, your computer, your TV, even your light bulbs, unless they're a special kind of light, emit blue light. And again, this blue light tells our body, wake up. And so limiting that exposure. Now, some of us, we've all probably heard of the blue light blocking glasses. If you're going to Amazon and buying a pair of $10 blue light blocking glasses, they are not really going to do very much for you. There are some companies out there that have a really good product that actually will block that blue light. And so I would encourage you to go and explore that. If you want to, for me, hey guys, come on in. We're glad you're here. That's okay. Come on in. I'm going to give you guys a worksheet. You can grab a book, you grab a pen, and pass them down. That way you can join us where you are. And maybe it's here. Yeah, here we go. Right now we're talking about sleep. And so you can take notes on that worksheet if you would like to, if that's helpful to you. So just go down there. We're kind of at the bottom of that first page talking about sleep right now. Okay, so I mentioned turn your lights out before 10 p.m. to help with the melatonin, reduce your exposure to blue light. Another thing is serotonin, okay? As your serotonin levels increase, your melatonin increases. And so melatonin is our body's hormone that says go to sleep and helps us with sleep. So one super simple thing that you can do to get serotonin is Brazil nuts. Yeah, Brazil nuts. If you'll eat 1 or 2 Brazil nuts every day, they are rich in serotonin. And so we have a bag of Brazil nuts at our house, and it's a very healthy fat. And so get yourself some Brazil nuts. If you can get some organic Brazil nuts, even better. If not, get what you can get. Okay? So that's going to increase your serotonin. And you want to be consistent with it. All of these things, that consistency really, really matters. All right, take a supplement. Sometimes if we're kind of in the pattern of not getting enough sleep, we just need something to help us along. And so there are melatonin supplements out there. It's not good to have to take them every night. Young Living has one that's called Sleep Essence. It's really great. Joe really likes that one. Young Living also has a product called Unwind. And now the Unwind is actually a kid's product. It's called Kid Sense Unwind. But Joe and I have found that it's very helpful for us. And it is kind of like, it comes in a box of 25, and they're kind of like little pixie stick kind of thing. And so if I'm just like, I just can't get to sleep, I'll go get one of those Unwinds and just down it. And usually within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm asleep. It's very magical for me personally.
What's in it?
It has 5-HTP in it.
Okay.
It has some essential oils in it, like lavender, Roman chamomile. It has one other, I can't remember what else.
So 5-HTP is one of the precursors for, well, tryptophan breaks down, and so it's a part of that molecule. And then there is L-theanine, is the central nervous system tonic, basically, attenuator. And then it was, what was the third?
It's got some oils in it, like lavender and chamomile. I don't remember what else, but it's definitely 5-HTP and L-theanine.
Yeah.
But it does not have the melatonin in it.
No, it does
I'm
not.
trying to get away from taking the melatonin.
Yeah, so melatonin is, it's been on the market for a really long time, and it's there's a lot of good data behind it. Some people are very sensitive to it, and other people aren't.
I fall asleep within 5 to 10 minutes, but I only sleep for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So
for 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm awake.
I will, when I take it, I will snap awake usually around midnight or 1 o'clock if I go to bed at 9:30.
Yeah.
So everybody's a little different with that, but it is a hormone. And so when you take even 2.5 milligrams, it's literally so much more than what your body naturally produces. It's like a locomotive hitting you. And so there are some challenges that you want to, for some people in particular, but it's a great aid, and there's not a lot of downside. It's just, again, you're messing with your body's natural clock.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for that.
Yes. So the one that we like that doesn't have the melatonin in it is called Unwind, Kid Sense Unwind. There are some specific essential oils that can be super helpful for sleep. Lavender's a big one. Cedarwood is great for that. Young Living has a blend called Rutavala, and it has in it rue, valerian, and lavender, and that combination is great. That is one that I have in a roller, and I roll on the bottoms of my feet almost nightly.
Rue, lavender, and what?
Rue, it has
Valerian.
Rutavala, valerian, and rue. Excuse me, lavender. Rue, lavender, and valerian is what's in that one.
I'm
Rutavala.
having trouble getting used to the smell.
Yeah,
so we put it on our feet.
yeah. I call it.
That's-
we call it the stinky feet.
It's
oil.
stinky feet.
It's kind of the stinky
I'll go
oil.
try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
It's because the valerian has a
Yep,
long
it's very
smell
powerful.
to it.
Rue
But-
kind of has it.
It's great for babies. When babies you're having a hard time, colicky, cranky, whatever, rolled on the bottom of their feet.
Yeah,
That's good to know.
you want to do it with a carrier oil, of course. But if you're getting it from Young Living, it actually comes in a roller.
Yeah, my roller is
Yeah.
already blended.
And so it's hard.
Yeah, it's
to
a 20%.
So that's very helpful. Another supplement that is really helpful for sleep is magnesium. And almost all of us are low on magnesium. And so I would highly recommend that as well. If you get too much magnesium, it's gonna loosen the bowels. And so you'll know the next day if you got too much. But Young Living doesn't have just a straight up magnesium supplement. Now we do have some things that have it in it, like our Mega Cal, which is a calcium supplement, has magnesium in it. I take that nightly, but then I actually brought the magnesium that we use that isn't Young Living, but it is a high quality supplement. And I take 3 of those every night too. And I have seen it's really made a difference for me. It helps you relax. You can also get magnesium through Epsom salts. And so if you take an Epsom salt bath at night,
Don't drink them.
Take a bath with magnesium flakes at night, your skin actually absorbs the magnesium that way too.
Have a magnesium spray.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Put it on your belly.
Mhm.
It kind of feels like a oil, but it's not oil.
Yeah. Yes.
I forget which form of magnesium is the best for sleep, because there's like.
It's very.
Is it the one that starts with the D?
I think it's magnesium chloride. No, it's not?
No.
Okay.
Every human's different when it comes to magnesium, and what's going to work for a particular thing per individual is very different. You have to experiment around a lot and to find the magnesium is going to work best for you. And she mentioned some the laxative-like effect that can happen. That's only with certain types of magnesium.
Saturate, for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of a lot of times what you get over the counter, and it's just really not the she mentioned the magnesium that's in Epsom salt. You can use that if you want to purge your bowels, but other than that, it's usually a little rough for most people. So you do want to be careful with what you get. We use what we call ours is called magnesium SRT is the one we're using right now, which is sustained release technology, which means we're getting that magnesium dose over the period of 8 hours. And it's a very high quality magnesium. If you want a good magnesium, because Young Living doesn't provide one, Thorne makes one of the best, and Pure Encapsulations makes a great magnesium product as well as a couple other companies out there. But you have to experiment around, and not everybody benefits from magnesium for relaxation at night. Some people will, some people won't.
Depending on what kind I take, I get puffy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's when you're messing with electrolytes, there's always unintended consequences, and so you do have to test and try and experiment. Give yourself about 90 days with any natural product to evaluate. But it's
And I did bring up the magnesium that we take, so if you
Oh,
guys want to
okay.
look at that, it's over on the table, and you can take a look at it here later. The other thing that Young Living does have that has magnesium in it is mineral essence,
Mm-hmm.
and it is actually a liquid, and it has lots of minerals in it. And so that would be one to look at, and that is one that can also be very, very helpful for your adrenals. So we'll talk about that more in a bit. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 more things that can help us sleep. Number 1, you want to finish eating your last meal 3 to 4 hours before time for bed. Okay, and basically what that's doing is it's allowing time for your food to digest, and then allows that digestive process to stop and for your body to rest. And so when we eat, it turns on our metabolism, it turns things on in our body. And so if you can give yourself 3 to 4 hours between the time that you go to sleep and you eat your last meal, best case scenario. Gut health. Oftentimes, not all the times, but many times when people are having sleep issues, it will go back to your gut health. And if you can get that gut health where it needs to be, then that can make a huge difference for you. And I'll give you a book recommendation for this. The name of the book is Super Gut. And the author is Dr. William Davis. This is an excellent book about your gut health. And so it's there are books and books and books and lots of information about gut health. But I'll give you these basics. Sugar Anything that you're eating that's processed food or sugar is feeding the unhealthy bacteria in your gut and helping it to grow and get bigger. Real food, especially like your vegetables, your fruits, those are going to feed the healthy bacteria in your gut. Things like kefir will feed the healthy bacteria in your gut. Yogurt is good, however, the yogurt that you're going to get in the grocery store doesn't have a huge amount of bacteria, healthy bacteria in it. It's just not been fermented long enough. But there are lots of foods. If you'll just Google what foods, are prebiotic or have probiotics in there. And the thing is kombucha. Fermented foods are going to feed healthy gut bacteria. Hi.
Sorry to interrupt. We're going to start using the room next door, but I just wanted to say y'all feel free to come and go.
Okay, thank you. So gut health is super important. And then the last thing for helping with sleep is fasting. Okay, you may be like, I ain't doing that. So I'm going to give you just a simple way to do a 24-hour fast. Eat a healthy breakfast, and then skip lunch, skip dinner. And by the end of the day, you're going to be very tired. And you will find, for me personally, I have found when I do a 24-hour fast like that, I sleep so good that night. And I'll talk some more about fasting later, but I'm not talking about doing a 4 to 5 day fast. Right there, we're just talking about a simple 24-hour fast. And I have found that to be very helpful and effective for sleep. It does a lot of other good things for your body too. All right, we're going on to exercise. I'm going to talk just about some specific ways to exercise. But generally speaking, just move your body. Okay, if you're not somebody who does a lot of exercise, exercise is great for your hormone health. One thing that is really good for your adrenals is rebounding. And so we're talking about jumping on a trampoline. And so if you go and Google that, rebounding for adrenal health, really helpful for adrenals. I already mentioned this, but if you're a woman and you have concerns about osteoporosis and bone loss, weightlifting is very important. And so personally, I try to do a combination of weightlifting and cardio, 70-30. And so 70% of my workout, I want to be weightlifting, 30% I want to be cardio. That's best case scenario. Yoga. We need to reduce our stress. And so I've already mentioned yoga, but yoga can be very helpful for reducing stress, which can be very helpful for your hormone health. I mentioned earlier yoga with Adrienne. You don't have to go pay a ton of money. You'll find yoga with Adrienne on YouTube for free. So go look her up. I love her. And then another way to do your exercising is called HIIT, which stands for high intensity.
High intensity.
High interval
Intermittent intensity
training. I can't think of HIIT, but HIIT training. And
High intensity interval training.
thank you. High intensity interval training. And what this does is it helps. So this would be like 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and doing this it might be for 10 minutes, or it might be 30 seconds and 10 seconds of rest. Okay, so working hard for a short interval, a small rest. Hard, and a rest. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And this actually helps to optimize HGH, which is human growth hormone. So HIIT training. All right, I'm gonna go on to food. Eat real food. So what do I mean by that? Real food does not have a label on it. Okay? It is what it is. Carrots, do they have a label? No. They are what the food is. So eat real food. The more you can do that, the better. And we want to include healthy fats. So especially in the 80s, when I was growing up as a teenager, it was this eat low fat, eat low fat, eat low fat, eat low fat, right? And we have learned now that that is not actually the healthiest. So what would be healthy fats? This would be coconut oil. This would be olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. This would be avocado oil. Okay, those are probably going to be your healthiest fats. And so we don't want to just completely avoid fats, but when we have fats, we want to have healthy fats. The ones that I would recommend avoiding would be canola oil, your seed oils, like sunflower seed oil, things like this would be ones to avoid. So real food, like I said, food with no label. The second thing is, as much as you possibly can, is to stay away from sugar. I mentioned already, sugar feeds the unhealthy bacteria that's in our gut. I personally decided, because I had my whole hormone panel, and that included, they checked my insulin, and I think I'm not sure exactly. I think when you get to like your A1C gets to, is it 5.8?
Yeah, 5.6, 5.8. Yeah.
You're considered pre-diabetic. When they checked my A1C, I was at 5.6, and I was very surprised. Yeah. And so I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and people who have that have more of a tendency to have insulin issues. And so I personally decided to go completely sugar-free. And so since the beginning of this year, I have been sugar-free, or almost completely sugar-free. I've had one or two things here and there, and when I did, my body didn't like it. So what am I using as a sugar substitute? Stevia. Stevia is your best go-to because it does not spike your blood sugar at all. And so you can still have things that are sweet, but you gotta be creative about doing it.
Have you tried the yacon syrup?
Yes, I actually have some yacon syrup as well. It's a great substitute for honey because it also does not spike blood sugar. Another one that is good for if you're trying to stay away from sugar is monk fruit. It also does not spike your blood sugar at all. And I have a book that is all about going sugar-free. And in that book, somebody's got that book. Let me see what the name of it is. Oh, here it is. It is called Becoming Sugar-Free by Julie. Can I hold that up for just a second? By Julie Daniluk. And she has in this book a great chart that talks about sugars and all the different sugar substitutes. And she has like a green list. This is your go-to list. She has a yellow list, and then a red list. And the red list is stay away from these if at all possible. And kind of talks about the different reasons why. And so if you want to look at that book, I'd be happy to show you that in that book.
So the two sugars that she mentioned, the one sugar that she mentioned,
Yacon syrup.
how do you spell that?
YACON.
Okay, and then you mentioned,
Stevia,
no,
monk fruit.
okay.
Monk fruit. And the monk fruit and stevia, you can find those in the grocery store. Yeah. Another one that oftentimes will be blended with stevia is erythritol. And so,
I don't like the flavor of that one as much.
okay.
But the stevia monk fruit blend is okay.
Okay, yeah, and I would personally look for, if you're looking for stevia, look for the organic. And it's fine if it's like a blend. I have found it to be fine. Erythritol, stevia blends to be stevia. Some people are like, I don't like the taste of it. I have personally not had an issue with that.
That's because it's 10 times sweeter than sugar.
Yes.
You can accidentally use too much really easy.
Yes,
And I
that's
have
right.
clients outside, but I use that for my teas or something else that's not, because it's green or it's
Yeah.
brown.
Yeah.
But I've never tried it like in baking because it's leafy.
Yeah.
But I puree it.
They make a stevia powder. It kind of looks like powdered sugar,
Yeah,
and it works really good for baking.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to give you a book recommendation too. This is a plan that I found just really recently. It's been around for, I think, more than 10 years. It's called Trim Healthy Mama. If you go to Pinterest, you'll see all kinds of THM recipes, and that stands for Trim Healthy Mama. So they have a book that they wrote. I actually listened to the book. I found it on I have a library app, and so you can listen to it there if you want to. You can also purchase the book. Somebody's bearing down on that book right now. But then they also have cookbooks. Okay, so this is one of the cookbooks. Yeah, the Trim Healthy Mama plan. So here's what I like about it. It's real food. It's eating real food. Their plan helps to, if you want to lose weight, it can help with that. I personally, I don't need to lose weight. I'm where I need to be. It can also help you to maintain once you get to where you want to be. Their plan helps with balancing your blood sugar, okay? It helps to avoid those insulin spikes. And avoiding insulin spikes is very important for our hormone health and for many other aspects of our health. And this plan also, it includes healthy fats, it includes vegetables, it includes protein. And so I love this plan, and this is something that we really just started within the last couple of weeks. But in their plan, they too do advocate for avoiding sugar. And so they have a lot of recipes in their books, like for sweet things. Because guys, I like to have sweet things, and I'm gonna have them, but I'm gonna have them in a healthier way by using some of these healthy sugar substitutes.
Beets are a good sugar substitute. If you're making cookies, you can blend it in with the rest of your
Okay,
mix when you make your cookies.
interesting. All right.
They'll have pink cookies.
Maybe that's perfect for Valentine's, right? All right, and then another thing is intermittent fasting. Okay, so you may have heard, this is different from like the 24-hour fast that I was talking about. Intermittent fasting is basically shrinking the window of time that you're eating in the daytime, okay? And so here's how you would do this. You would eat a later breakfast. So maybe you don't eat breakfast until 10 o'clock. And then you try, like I said, you want to try to be done with your last meal 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. And then, so you eat within that window. If you're someone who you like to eat an early breakfast, maybe you go ahead and have that early breakfast, you have your lunch, and then you have an earlier dinner. And so you're trying to shrink that eating window to anywhere from 8 to 12 hours instead of I'm eating for 16 hours. Does that make sense? And so what that does for you is it gives your body more time to rest. It gives your digestive system time to rest, and it trains your body to become more sensitive to insulin. Okay. You want to say anything else about that, Joe?
Yeah, there's if you're doing research on your own, and we're more than willing to help you kind of navigate some of these things, because intermittent fasting, time restricted eating, nutrition plans in general are very, very complex topics, and they mean different things to everybody. So if you're out there and you want to Google time restricted eating or intermittent fasting, which is the term Amy used, you're going to find all sorts of garbage. And I'd say probably about 90% of it is garbage that's on the internet about these topics, because they're used to sell things, and everybody has a variation and a version of it. So what she called time restricted eating, intermittent fasting, I would call time restricted eating, because that's more what it is. And a lot of times for people that have established patterns already, one of the things that's more difficult for people to give up is coffee in the morning. And so what time restricted eating is focused on is reducing your metabolic activity. So anything that hits your stomach that's going to require your body to start the digestive process is going to interrupt that. So what they've discovered through research is that black coffee has little to no impact for the majority of people on metabolic activity. It has caffeine in it. It has some antioxidants in it. There's some very healthy things about it. So if you have to have that coffee from between 6 and 10 in the morning, that's an okay type of thing. If you're going to have a cup of tea, it can be okay because teas are more complex than coffee in many ways. And so you do want, there is some things that you can do that will get in the way of being successful with this. But it is one of I put in the notes in here in the chat that time restricted eating has a 90% compliance rate in studies. And if you don't know what that means, it means it's like 50% higher compliance than most plans. So it is very easy to do for the majority of people. And most people are very successful about doing it for a really long time in their life because all you have to do is not open your mouth. And so that makes it really, really easy. And you're not as hungry as what you think. That's one of the big things is after you put it in place, you're just like, oh, I wasn't hungry anyway. And so it's a really good strategy. And then there's of course the sugar side of it that we're talking about as well. And that's much more complex.
All right, so the last thing having to do with lifestyle is balancing your blood sugar. And several of the things I've mentioned already actually help with that. So I'm going to just hit them quickly. Exercise, keeping your simple carbs low, eating a moderate but not high protein, the fasting, reducing stress, and then supplements. I'm going to mention a couple specific supplements that can help with balancing blood sugar. Your omega-3s can be very helpful for that. Berberine is one that can be helpful with that. Cinnamon, ginger. Those are two that I personally have been putting in a capsule, cinnamon essential oil and ginger essential oil every night, 2 drops in a capsule, and taking them that way to help with my insulin resistance. Garlic, magnesium, and chromium. And so those are all some supplements that can be helpful for blood sugar.
Now you said the second one after omega-3, what was it?
Berberine, Berberine.
You left out a
But
B.
if you have allergies, be careful with it because a lot of people are allergic to berberine.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to jump into supplements. Okay. So first there you see magnesium. And I've already mentioned magnesium and some of the things that it can help with sleep. It can help with your blood sugar levels. And this is very, very needed for dealing with stress. And not only that, but it can help with your progesterone. And so the magnesium like I said earlier, we are almost all low on magnesium. And so one of the foods that's high in magnesium is pumpkin seeds. And so if you're looking for a food source of magnesium, pumpkin seeds, eat them every day.
So one of the things when we talk about being a little bit magnesium deficient, one of the things that a lot of people will kind of come back at you with is that, well, my blood work shows that I have adequate magnesium. Okay, so that magnesium that is free floating in your bloodstream that is not bound is such a small fraction of the magnesium you have in your body that yes, it can be clinically significant. However, for most people, that is not a good diagnostic tool. Even when you use what's called an RBC magnesium test, that is still, it represents, so your free magnesium that's in your bloodstream represents about 3 to 4% of your body's total magnesium load, and then it's extrapolated as a calculation. And there's some very important things about that in the clinical setting. However, for us, it's a little different. Now, your RBC magnesium level, that's still only about representative of about 7% of your body's total magnesium load. And so it is a very, the better evaluation of whether your body does or does not is not magnesium deficient is symptomatic, less than through a laboratory test. So yeah, people go, well, all my tests from the lab showed up, the doctor said I was normal. Yeah, that could be for that fraction and moment in time, because blood work is only a moment in time, a snapshot. However, if the clinical picture or the symptomatic picture shows that taking the magnesium supplement has X benefit for you, then that's a better evaluation of whether or not you are or not deficient in a particular, in this case, magnesium, than another way to evaluate. So labs are very important and diagnostically valuable. They're not always the end all be all answer.
All right. Okay, the second one on there is Fimogen. This is a supplement that Young Living has that is especially helpful for supporting estrogen. So it would be kind of like a moderate supplement for supporting that healthy estrogen. So Fimogen is for estrogen. Endogize, that's going to be like the big guns for estrogen. So if you know that like you're needing a lot of help there, I would go with the Endogize. Me personally, having had my hormone panel done, I'm actually taking the Fimogen and the Endogize, but I'm about to move over to just doing the Endogize. And so both of those are for helping with estrogen support.
Well, endo is endocrine. So it has to do with all of your endocrine glands,
Yes.
not just the lady parts. There's a lot to go on with your endocrine system. So that's the whole, she said the big guns. It's going to impact a lot of things: adrenal support, thyroid support, all that stuff.
Thank you. And then if thyroid is something that you're especially concerned about, Thyromin is going to be your go-to for that. So anyone who needs that support for their thyroid, which has to do with your adrenals as well, doesn't it, Joe?
Your thyroid problems typically are, a lot of times people are going to get really focused on the thyroid gland itself and the parathyroid and some of the other of those. The adrenal support is going to be more for our chronic fatigue type of or adrenal fatigue type of. That's where people a lot of times will associate. And if you're starting to do research and address those things, yeah.
Okay. All right, cortisol. So cortisol. So all these right now that I'm listing are Young Living supplements. Cortisol is one that if you are like, that you are super stressed, that you have the kind of like that fight or flight, that you just got to bring stress levels down. Cortisol is going to be your go-to for that. And it is one that like you take it for, I think it's about 2 weeks or so. I may be wrong on that. You read on the bottle. I think it might be 21 days. And then you
want to evaluate your response to the supplement in this particular case. I took cortisol because I was under a lot of stress, and it didn't. When I'm under stress, I don't produce a ton more cortisol than I do during any normal day. And so it wasn't as effective. When you do it, it is time specific because you're going to have a lot more cortisol produced in early morning. It's kind of what wakes you up, get your adrenal glands functioning properly, that sort of thing. The challenge is when you're under stress is, like she said, you're all constantly in the fight-flight response, which means your sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive. And cortisol, the idea is that it will reduce that free circulating cortisol, help reduce that free circulating cortisol so that your body can come out of that fight-flight response and you can get into your parasympathetic nervous system can kick into gear. And so there's so much involved in this. But with the cortisol, you do want to evaluate because it's not the right supplement for every person. And you do, I believe it is 21 days, then you're going to cycle off for about 30 days, and then you could cycle back on. And the reason you would use that supplement is so that you can create space in your life As soon as if you can get your parasympathetic nervous system to kick back into and do its job properly, then it'll create space so that you can add some of these other modalities. Because when you're in the fight flight response, you are not thinking about diet, you're not thinking about exercise, you're not thinking about meditation, you're not thinking about sleep, you're thinking about resolving that one thing in your life that has you in crisis. And so the advantage of that is trying to get yourself back to a healthy mental space, so that you can then put some of these other tools in place. So it can be a very valuable and proper tool for some people.
All right, Super B. So this is a Young Living supplement, and it is a vitamin B complex, which means there are, I can't remember how many, maybe 8 or 9 different B vitamins.
Or more.
And so it is all of those B vitamins. And so this can be very, very helpful for your adrenal system, getting those B vitamins. B vitamins are important for our hormones. It can be helpful for, again, bringing stress levels down. It can be helpful for our circulatory system, our cardiovascular system. And so Super B is a really, really great supplement that we have. Ninja Red. So Ninja Red is a goji berry drink that Young Living has. So it's, number one, it is delicious, and can be very helpful for thyroid, for adrenal support, and overall your hormone balance. That's one. And then I'm just gonna put a plug in here for men's hormones. We have a supplement called Powergize. It's not just for men, but it supports testosterone. And so if you're a woman and you know you need that testosterone support, it can help there. But also it can be very helpful for men. Powergize is the name of that supplement. We have some specific oils also that really are for men. Shutron is great for supporting men's hormones. Idaho Blue Spruce is for supporting testosterone. Okay? And then again, Ninja Red is going to be for men and women for that overall hormone balance. All right, so I'm going to jump now into the essential oils part. We're already at an hour, so I'm going to kind of plug along pretty quickly with this. So number one is Progestins Plus, and I have this one right here. This one is all about balancing your progesterone. It has bioidentical progesterone in it, and the progesterone that is in this product is wild yams. This one best used at nighttime. That's the time when I use this. You can use as much as you want. And this is a serum. Yes, it has the wild yams in it. It also has a blend of essential oils in it. And the way I use this is I put a couple of drops on my wrist, and I do this, and then I get a couple more drops and I rub it on my abdomen. Many people have, I have a friend who is in her 60s, and she's like, I have to have Progestins Plus. It helps me sleep at night. And so this one is for many people just magical what it does for them in helping to balance out that progesterone. Clary Sage. So this one, Clary Sage, and another one that kind of is, I kind of call it a sister, is Sclerescence. And I think I may have, do I have both of those listed there? No, I have Clary Sage listed. So Sclerescence is another one that has Clary Sage plus a couple of other oils in it. And these are very, very helpful for estrogen support. And so what this does, Clary Sage, helps your body to produce estrogen. And so we call that a precursor. And so when you use Clary Sage, what you're trying to do is you're trying to support your body so that your body can produce that estrogen. So Clary Sage, Sclerescence is the other one that I mentioned that can be very helpful for supporting estrogen. Endoflex. I don't think I brought Endoflex over here. Endoflex is a blend of oils that supports your adrenals. It supports estrogen, progesterone, and stress relief. And so this is what I have over on the table, and you would put it here, just on your
You want to
thyroid.
put it on the target organ.
Yes. So your thyroid is here, and so you put it there. And the other place you can put it is back on your lower back where your adrenals are. And so I put the Endoflex here at nighttime, and in the morning I put it here. And so that is Endoflex. Another one that is really helpful for thyroid support is your frankincense. And so frankincense is for thyroid support, stress relief, or adrenal support. And so that's one also, frankincense you can put here, you can put it back here on your adrenals. Another place that I love to put frankincense, because it's so good for your skin as well, is I'll put a drop in my hand at night after I wash my face, put that drop in my hand, and I take one drop and I put it all over my face. And so that is not only great for your skin, but it can help calm you and get you ready to go to sleep at night. So that's how I like to use my frankincense. Nutmeg is for adrenal support. And so again, you're gonna put it here on your lower back for that adrenal support. Crinoline Plus. This is actually a cream, and it can provide hormone balance for estrogen, for progesterone, and testosterone, plus DHEA. Now, DHEA is a precursor hormone for, I can't say this word right, don't help me, estradiol.
Estradiol.
Thank you, I did. Estradiol and testosterone. So basically it means DHEA helps your body to produce the estradiol and testosterone. And so DHEA also has been studied for its potential to increase bone density, to decrease body fat, improve sexual function, and correct hormone balance. And so this is actually a cream. I use it. I put my clary sage here on my abdomen, and then I have another blend of oils I'm putting there, and then I put the Crinoline Plus on top of that. Kind of seals it all in and helps it soak in too. Cinnamon and ginger. These are for helping with balancing the blood sugar, and I mentioned earlier, I put these in a capsule, and I take that capsule. Yes, you can just use straight up cinnamon and ginger, the herbs, but your cinnamon and ginger essential oils are going to be more potent. And so, all right. And then I've just got a list there for you of specific help for specific hormone things. And so you can take a look at that. And then after that, you're going to see some recipes. Menopause blend. Okay, so this is a blend that I am using daily, multiple times daily. And so you can see I have my blend right here. And what is in here is 1 whole bottle of Progescence Plus, 1 whole bottle of Idaho Blue Spruce. I don't have it here because I've emptied it in here, but 1 whole bottle of the Fluorescence. That's the one I mentioned that has clary sage. It has a couple of other things in it. And so all 3 of those bottles I put in this. This is a 2-ounce bottle. And then I filled it the rest of the way with V6 carrier oil. And this has on it a roller. So it just makes it super simple. I take this with me to work every day. So in the morning, I rub it on my abdomen. I rub it here. I rub it on the soft part of my arms here. In the morning, I do that again at night. And then just throughout the day, when I come in and I see it on my desk, I just put it on again. Because with essential oils, it's the consistency that is going to make a difference. And a lot of people don't realize or understand that. They're like, well, I used it once and it didn't help. Well, if you want to lose weight and you go to the gym one time, is that going to do the trick? No, we know that, okay? Same thing here. Consistency. So you got to use these things consistently to see them work. You got just a couple of other recipes there. that you can take a look at. But I'm gonna kind of pause us there. So we're live with some people, those who came in late. If you are live and you're like, where do I get these things? There is a link there attached to the YouTube video. You can go directly there and you can purchase using that link. If you have questions and you want to chat with me or with Joe, we would be happy to talk with you and to help you. Reach out to us. I'm going to reach out to anybody who came in live and just see what questions you may have. And we today, the rest of us who are here in person, we're going to make a roller for stress relief right now. And so I have a couple of essential oils over on the table. And so we're going to go over and do that. And then we're going to have a light lunch together. And so those who joined us live, we're so glad you came. And I will be checking in with you and help you guys and answer any questions that you may have. But I think we're good with the live. So.
Well, before we go, I should have done this at the beginning. I didn't do this at the beginning, so I will do it at the end of our live session. Amy and I are not doctors. We are not, we hold no medical credentials. Everything that has been said here is for your education and for, to help. It's just our experiences in life and some experiences that we have gathered from people that we know that have used these products successfully. They are not designed to cure, treat. We do not diagnose. We do not do any of that stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I do that to protect us and to protect you as you go about making whatever decisions you're going to make. We do want to help absolutely anyone that would like a little bit more, maybe one-on-one time. This stuff is super, super challenging. If it was easy, everybody in this world would be walking around in their version of whatever fit, happy, and healthy is. But we know that that's not the case. And so it is challenging, and we're here to help you navigate some of that stuff if that's your desire. I've put some information in here on how you can get a hold of us. Our email address is support@JNAHealthyEssentials.com. You can reach out to Amy via her cell at 501-794-8116, or you can reach our business line at 501-420-2340. So right now we want to, if there are any questions from anybody online, please type them in the chat now, or you can use one of those resources that I provided so you can reach out to us. And anyone here that's here in the room with us, it's Q&A time.
Who has a question?
Or anyone have a question? Or do you have something that really kind of stuck out to you that you're like, ooh, that I think is going to help me, and maybe it would help somebody else if you reiterated that thing?
I do have a question.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Oh, now I'm scared.
I have had a hysterectomy.
Uh-huh.
And I only have part of one ovary. Everything else is gone. So hot flashes come and go, and the doctor says I have an estrogen problem.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's too high or too low, but it's causing the hot flashes.
Yep.
Is there anything that would help with that?
Yeah, immediately my gut reaction is the Pro Plus is going to be the thing that I would look at first. And the reason for that is that it doesn't just, she mentioned a lot about progesterone, but it doesn't just do that. While we cannot say it cures, treats, or does anything like that, there are a lot of people we know that it helps with issues with hormones that are high, hormones that are low, dryness, too much
Chronic UTIs.
yeah, too much blood flow during, you're talking about, a hysterectomy, but for people that have long menstrual cycles, cramping menstrual cycles, short menstrual, there is something in there, because everybody's like, oh, it's yams, I can go buy yams. Well, it doesn't work that way. That there's something very special about what the doctor that created that product put in there, and it has a way to do that. The other thing is that I want to, because you mentioned having a almost full hysterectomy, And we see this with thyroidectomies. We see this with hysterectomies, both partial and full and what have you. Just because an organ is missing does not mean that it is fully missing. Your body does not always know that that is missing. It doesn't always, and your body has fantastic compensatory mechanisms. So when you have a hysterectomy, in some cases, the hormones that were produced by those particular organs will shift to other parts of your body, and another organ will begin producing that hormone as a backup. And a lot of times that will shift to the gut. You'll have a bacteria that will begin producing those hormones for you. And so your body is just this amazing, amazing machine. And that's all we're doing here. We're not talking about curing, treating, because that's not what we're doing. We're supporting the body in order to bring it into optimal health and find the ways that God's already put in there for your body to kind of take over and do these things. And so because of the vagal nerve, a lot of these things that even when they're removed, that doesn't mean there's not innervation still going on to that thing that's missing. And you can interrupt that cycle. You can get involved in there with support, and then your body can and will begin to balance out in some cases. I don't promise anything. I know that there's lots of stuff going on out there where people are very successful in supporting these types of things. But it's, when you've heard of and it's not directly related, but it's the only analogy I can come up with on such short notice, phantom limb syndrome. Your body believes that the limb is still there. Sometimes your body still believes that organ's still there. And because of that, these guys can still feel pain. In other areas, your body can still begin to produce and level out and balance things because there are other mechanisms. Sometimes your adrenal glands will begin to support and produce other hormones.
Sometimes it works like blood vessels when you have a blockage, it just reroutes.
Yeah, reroutes and finds another path. Yes, it will. It will. It's not just a Jurassic Park quote. It's a reality.
I'll just say too, another thing you might consider is the Progestins Plus with clary sage or with sclerescence. And the reason being that progesterone and estrogen, they support each other.
Okay, that's a part of it. It could also be that she has a elevated testosterone level.
Yeah.
In which case you have to bring the estrogens up in order to get that ratio back in play. And that's what happens a lot of times with menopause is can't always pinpoint which hormone is the one. Even with testing, you don't always know which one's out of kilter, and you got to bring those back in. And once they get back in line, all of a sudden those hot flashes disappear.
Initially, I had hot flashes really bad. I mean, it was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Personal heat wave 50 times a day.
Yeah.
And they went away for about 2 years, and now they've started back up again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, what's different?
Yeah, something has, your body can only stand so much. You're taking in toxic burden every day, and eventually it just kind of is like, fine. or something, another hormone changed, or another metabolic process changed as we age. That's why nutrition plans they're so much fun and so neat, is because you should never be on the same one your entire life, because your body's requirements, needs are going to change frequently.
So you said in the roller you had
Progestins Plus,
Progestins Plus,
IBS,
Idaho Blue Spruce, and
sclerescence. Okay, so for all my online audience, I'm going to cut you guys loose. We're getting into some sidebar discussions, and since you guys are not able to participate so well, I want to cut you loose. I know you've been on with us for about an hour and 20 minutes now, so thank you for joining us. We're super excited for you and your health and where you're going. So until next time.
All right. So let me tell you